Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming our panel this evening. First up, we have the President of the Indian Pickleball Association, Suryaveer Bhullar.
Well, next on is the Asia representative of the Global Pickleball Federation and representative of Franklin Sports Pickleball, Manish Rao, as well as the representatives of Hyderabad Royal Aces, Vaibhav Singh.
We are also joined by owner of Gujarat Smashers, Maulik Shah, the founder of Gambit, Gaurav Gupta, the CEO of PWR, Pranav Kohli, and lastly, the cricket legend, Jonty Rhodes. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our guests who will be joining us for this very interesting panel discussion.
And to moderate this session, we have the director of PWR, Aditya Khanna. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause, please. If we can have the panelists right up here on stage. And I can see them walking in just a second from now. We're here to talk about how India can leapfrog beyond the first love, that's cricket, and how is it that newer sports can actually come into the foray and how they can actually take India on the world map even further.
New love
there
in the world of sports.
Our panelists. Take your pick. A huge round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Aditya, over to you. Your mics will be on your seats. And with that, I hand it over to Aditya.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about the new age sport, pickleball in India. And I'd like to welcome all our guests over here. And thank you for having us over. My first question is going to be to Pranav Kohli, who's the CEO and founder of Pickleball League Asia Private Limited. Pranav, what do you think about pickleball in India and the league that you've launched? What are your thoughts on growing it further?
Yeah, first of all, thank you everybody for having me here. And I know it's late in the evening and everybody wants to go out and have some drinks, but bear with us for a second while we talk about an emerging sport, which I believe is going to be the most played sport in India. Pickleball is a fad that everybody thought is going to be a fad and is going to exist just after the pandemic, especially the tennis community. And I think what this sport has proven from its inclusiveness is that it's transcendent from a socio-economic background, it's transcendent from a gender perspective, it's transcendent from body type, transcendent from an age factor. Like somebody like me, my wife, my daughter, and my father, we can all get on a court and still play the sport. And I think that's the spirit that we're trying to embody into PWR, the series as well as the league. I think what we're trying to create is a pathway for kids at 5 years of age and see how they can play the sport, make it a career, and I think that's the objective. And I think, obviously with the Times Group involved, I think it gives us the kind of exposure that it gives the sport is massive. And I think you can see that with what has happened with the sport in the last 6 months, in the last 1 year and the last 2 years. If you look at the hockey stick growth that it has actually faced, I think it's primarily because of the fact that promotion has been there and India's affinity and Asia's affinity to racket sports as such. So yeah, I think it's going to be a huge sport. I do believe truly that it's going to be the most played sport in India.
Yes, I totally resonate with Pranav's thoughts that I believe pickleball is going to be one of the most played sports in India. And one of the most played sports in India, of course, is cricket. And we have the honor of having Mr. Jonty Rhodes with us. Jonty, what are your thoughts on pickleball being one of the most played sports in India because of the easiness of playing the sport and the barriers to entry are so low? As we were discussing behind that, like gully cricket, pickleball, it can be played with just by putting a net and 2 paddles. So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, namaskar, everybody. Namaskar, good evening. Great to be here, all the way from Goa. Thank you. Not often I get to wear a tie and shoes, so thank you for inviting me here this evening. You know, it's quite fascinating because I've obviously been touring India as a cricketer from 1993 and then as a coach from 2009 with the Indian Premier League. And it's almost a tale of two different crickets. And I think what excites me about a sport like pickleball is, one, the barriers to entry are not there. The second thing is that once people start to play in India, sure, resistance, there might be some resistance to change, but India has numbers on its side. And very quickly the game can grow from a small, isolated environment to all across India. And what do you need? You need viewership. Because I've seen with the Indian Premier League how facilities have grown because people are watching the best players in the world play cricket at the Indian Premier League. I've also seen wonderful opportunities for people coming from smaller tier 2, tier 3 cities even being given an opportunity that they wouldn't have had in the past because of what the Indian Premier League has done. But for that, you need grassroots level facilities to push across. And I think the same thing will be required in pickleball, is that, yes, it can be put up anywhere. And again, that is the beauty. I am of a family that spends most of our time outdoors, which is why we selected a small fishing village in Goa to live. Our children have had to adapt, for sure. And it's because we want to be outside and have a lifestyle that's active and mobile. So I think from a perspective where I have seen, I know there's always been a deep passion for cricket in India, but the first time that I watched Kabaddi was in the hotel in Bangalore when I arrived with the Mumbai Indians, and I was shown the sport. And I just wanted to grab a few of those players as the fielding coach and bring them into my team. So it's been amazing because up until then, living in Goa, I watched Kho-Kho, I watched Kabaddi in the various rural areas. And if people are given an opportunity in India, we've heard all today from an economic and even a political point of view, there's this real growth mindset in India. People know what they want. And give somebody in India an opportunity, and I've been amazed to see how that has grown. And that includes cricket. I mean, India are the #1 team in the world in five-day cricket in, okay, not so right now on the rankings, but 5-day cricket, 50 over and T20. And it's only really since the success of the Indian Premier League has taken it to that. It's grown the game in such a way. So I think, without comparing anything to cricket, any other sport to cricket, I think if you have the ability to get people to watch the game, that's a huge step forward in taking pickleball to everybody. So I'm always excited when it involves families, as you rightly said, when it involves people being outside, and of course a ball. I am a ball kind of guy. I'm always excited that this sport can go places in India.
We need to get a court near Jonty.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if I'm living in Goa, I like to be outdoors. When I come and stay in a hotel, the options that I have when I'm working is to be in the gym, which I'm not a big gym goer, or in the swimming pool, which half the time is full of chlorine, because there are no tennis courts, there are no facilities. You can put up pickleball anywhere, and you can take it down 10 minutes later. So I think that, from a point of view, when I go on working trips, I know that there is some activity that I will enjoy that doesn't involve me having to run on a treadmill or lift weights in a gym. Not that I'm knocking that, it's something for everybody, but it's just not my thing, being indoors in a gym.
I'm sorry, I must take one more second to remind Jonty, it's still 1-1 down under, so we've still not lost the test series.
So again, I agree with Jonty's words that, being an inclusive sport, pickleball is something which is outdoor, and every person of every age can play it. And talking about grassroots development and what BCCI has done, in developing cricket, and for IPL, we have the president of Indian Pickleball Association. So just Mr. Suryaveer Singh, would you like to talk about your role in developing pickleball as the national governing body of the sport, and in terms of grassroots development, in terms of leagues, and the steps you are taking over the last couple of years to develop the sport, making it one of the most booming sports in India, and you have a huge role to play in that.
Good evening, everybody. Yes, as the Indian Pickleball Association, in the last 2 years, we have been trying to take this sport to various states across India, and as of now, we have 25 states playing pickleball, and all these states have various districts where they're playing pickleball. In the last few years, a couple of states that have really emerged strong in pickleball are Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu. And of course, these are the metro cities, but now we are trying to promote the sport into more rural areas. We're starting a rural program in IPA. We've already set up a center for excellence in Ahmedabad, where we impart certification programs for coaches, for referees, and as well as coaching for players. I think the reason I see this sport picking up is that it's very easy to set up, it's affordable, and the entry level is a little easier than any other sport. So I see this sport really, really growing in India, and we hope to have at least 5 lakh players in the next 2 years playing pickleball.
And Surya, probably the only sport you and I can play with all these fit people.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, it's the only sport that Pranav and me can play too, and we do a pretty good job.
Probably beat some of these guys. I recently did beat Addy. I'm pretty confident on the rest of the panel. Manish, although, is a tough cookie, but yeah, I think I'll get there.
But yes, you also spoke about development in the whole country, and Gujarat and Ahmedabad also being one of the front runners of leading pickleball in the country. And we have Mr. Maulik Shah. What do you're of course investing in pickleball. You're from Gujarat. What do you see in terms of the growth of pickleball in your region, and your thoughts on it as well?
Good evening, everyone. I think Gujarat must be one of the fastest growing state as far as pickleball is concerned. I think we have more than 800 courts, I think, in the state, and all age groups are actually participating. Second, it's also making a lot of economic sense. To start, I think, a court, it's not too much of investment is happening. A lot of land is available. So that is also, I think, a lot of entrepreneurs are actually putting up courts, and I think they're getting a great response. So actually, to grow a sport, you need all stakeholders, Like it should be a win-win for everyone, which is happening. Second, I feel that I myself is actually, along with a group of other, associates, we are, I think, in the process of investing in a league which is starting very soon. I think it's getting launched probably tomorrow in Bombay, India League. So I think it makes a lot of sense, even economic sense as an investor. Second, I feel, you're part of a journey of a new sport, like an emerging sport. I think in your lifetime, you don't get many opportunities to be part of a journey, from an emerging sport to an established sport. So I think we are excited about that. And I think it's going to be, going to go like a fire, I think. It's going to grow like anything.
And Maulik, did you say 800 courts in Gujarat?
Yeah.
Well, that's a phenomenal number, right? And
it's a great
how many times a week do you play?
I play twice a week.
Twice a week?
Yeah.
That's it?
At the moment, twice a week, yeah. And a lot of, I think US is seeing that, a lot of tennis courts are getting converted to pickleball courts. That yet is not started in India, but I see that also happening very, very soon, because I know a couple of owners who are, having tennis courts, and the revenue is not really very good compared to what pickleball court owners are making, So I think that process is not yet started, so you will add a few more like that, So it's great, by the way, to answer you, yeah.
No, totally agree with you. And, the kind of growth it is showing with all age groups, and, it's just great. And that's what I want to come to Gaurav as well and talk about, pickleball being an inclusive sport. You have a health tech app as well. How do you see the health-wise benefits? Since you also played pickleball, you're a tennis player as well. I feel enough health benefits coming from pickleball for all age groups. As we spoke about it, that tennis is one sport where the age span increases of a human being, and I think pickleball is in the similar lines. What are your thoughts on that?
Hi, everyone. I think living healthier and longer is important for all of us nowadays. And it's no surprise that out of all the things that we do, the most scientifically proven thing to do to live healthier and longer is movement, exercising or playing something. It's proven. And I think pickleball being such an inclusive sport just makes it so much more easier for people to be just healthy, live longer, like a family sport or just friends going out and doing that. And we spoke about tennis. Tennis is right up there. And I was actually very surprised, to be honest. I'm a tennis player, otherwise. I was surprised to see how tired I was in just 15 minutes of pickleball, singles game. So that was lovely to see. The other thing that's, I think, interesting is, given how technology is progressing now, you can actually track a lot of your health metrics while you play pickleball or do sports. It's as simple as wearing a ring on your finger. Like a smart ring, it actually tracks all your stats and makes it even more interesting. I don't know how many of us know that there's a metric called VO2 max. It's the amount of oxygen you can take through while you're playing sports or working out. Single most metric related to longevity. And now, because of these variables, it's very easy to track. And as a person, if you're playing a sport, you should actually think about, am I improving my VO2 max or not over a period of time? And that also gives you a kick to keep playing again. And if you improve your VO2 max, you will definitely live healthier and longer. So I think there is so much goodness and health that can come out of playing sports like this, which are readily available. Infrastructure is easy. Anybody can play it. That I think this is a means to fun, but there's also means to living healthier and longer.
On a serious note, I do see India eventually having a medalist in the Olympics in pickleball. Currently, we have the top players in Asia in under 12, under 14, under 16, under 18. They're all players from India. They're number one in Asia. We also have a US Open gold medalist from India. We have a player called Arman Bhatia, who's the number one player in India, doing very well internationally. So yes, as and when this game goes into the Olympics, I see India coming up with a medalist.
Yes, we have the presence of Mr. Manish, who's the Asian representative in the Global Pickleball Federation, and the IPA and the APA and GPF are working strongly towards making pickleball an Olympic sport as well. What are your thoughts in India being a leader in pickleball in the World Forum, which is happening right now, and your role in GPF and how you're empowering India through that as well?
Yeah. Good evening, gentlemen, and thank you, Adi. So, as a part of Global Pickleball Federation, so what happened is the topic today is pickleball giant, that is the India. So this sport has been in the world for the last 50 years, and in India it's been there for the last 10 years. And today I'll tell you, Adi, that we are the second most populous pickleball player in the world. I mean, after US, we have more players all over the world, and that is a testimony to the growth of pickleball in India. And what GPF, that is Global Pickleball Federation, is extremely excited is at the growth which pickleball infrastructure as well as the players are growing in India. And thanks to a lot of efforts by PWR and Pickleball United, we've been working on the grassroots level, we've been working on players, and Global Pickleball Federation has put all its efforts to get the sport to Olympics, and India is a major partner in that. The most important part is that wherever the emerging countries are coming, Pickleball United is a Indian company which is providing equipments for the growth of the sport, and that is a major thing which is happening. So it's a very healthy sign. So pickleball is on steroids definitely in India.
No, and the IPA and the APA takes a huge role in developing pickleball in Asia and in India. And talking about infrastructure development, we guys are also you guys are developing real estate in Hyderabad, and pickleball infrastructure is coming up, and you're also investing hugely in your real estate projects in pickleball and developing courts, and they're usually overbooked. And where do you see that in your program, in your investments as well?
Good evening, everyone. So allow me just 30 seconds to give a little brief about. So we are Rajapushpa Group. We are from Hyderabad. We are a real estate firm. We are into infrastructure as well. While I say that, we are strong believers of that we are not into just the business of brick and mortar. We have a certain responsibility and accountability on building communities where we harper on well-being, where we harper on social well-being, developing social bonds, physical fitness. So that goes, pickleball is a fresh game which is catching up in India. Is the fastest globally recognized game right now. So what as per our responsibility, what we are doing is all our communities and workspaces that we are creating in and around Hyderabad, we are ensuring that we have pickleball courts. So pickleball is a energizing game. It's a game which anyone can play. It has easy entry. There are no entry barriers actually. So it resonates well with our thought process of creating lifestyle spaces which talk about fitness, which talk about well-being. It's surprising to note today India happens to have 40 million diabetic people. So and it's touted by 2045. It's being thought that we will reach about 100 plus. So the only way to avoid this is by engaging in physical activity, getting out of the houses, getting into sports. And pickleball is a family sport, wherein, like Pranav said, anyone from a kid to the grandparent can easily engage and play. So yes, we're super excited about this, and we have a feeling that pickleball is going to get really big. You got to enter the sport at the right time. A few years back, if we would have talked about cryptocurrency, nobody would have believed us. They would have laughed. Okay, but pickleball is a new sport, and I think we, as the Rajapushpa Group, a real estate company, we want to get it into our communities at the right time to increase awareness and engagement about it.
Dangerous to compare pickleball with cryptocurrency, but we'll let that pass. But it helps also the stats that that if you build a pickleball court, and this is a statistic which has come out from the US, in your backyard, the price of the house goes up by 30%. So obviously, I'm sure
we're super excited about that.
Yeah,
then.
absolutely. So I think that helps the fact as well.
Right.
So, first of all, Pranav, as what he mentioned, it is the fastest growing sport, and Pranav is, of course, the leader of pickleball in India, along with Times Group, leading the growth of pickleball in India. And your closing thoughts, Pranav, with the esteemed panel about their comments, and where do you see the league, the grassroots development, and the ecosystem of India, where Times Group is front runner along with you to develop the sport? And closing thoughts from you regarding the sport and where you can take it.
Yeah, firstly, I'm super excited about the panel. It's such a diverse group of people from different parts of the country and outside the country, and we're still staying in the country, and supporting Australia? No?
World Test Championship.
Oh, World Test Championship. Yeah, we have to qualify for that still.
Exactly. That's what I was referring to. Right. Carry on.
We'll get there. But yeah, it's so exciting to hear everybody's thoughts, and I think this panel kind of basically brings everything together, from tracking in sports and specifically new age sports, because obviously traditional sports like, if you're running or swimming or walking or playing any other traditional sport, people have their traditional ways of measuring. But like when you're skeptical about how much workout did you get playing pickleball, I'm sure there are tracking devices and other things available which can help you get through that. Speaking about grassroots development, what Jonty spoke about, and having the president of Indian Pickleball Association and Manish here from Global Pickleball Federation also gives us confidence on the governance side of it and building the sport, because the two cannot exist independently. So our vision at PWR and also with our partners Times Group is basically to have a coexistence of governance as well as the league side of it. So you have, as we were discussing earlier, the BCCI structure was always available, but what kind of gave it steroids was IPL. What we're trying to do is trying to have both of these structures available from day one, rather than building one first, because you can't build the other without the other. So I think it's an exciting time for the sport. I think having somebody like the Times Group, which has the kind of presence that they do across India, you're gonna be seeing pickleball a lot more in a lot of different avenues, whether it's digital, whether it's linear, whether it is newspapers, whether it is any kinds of channels or radio, and any kind of marketing initiatives that are there. And that excites me. So building something in that space where a lot of media, a lot of attention is being dedicated, just tells me that there's a bright future to this.
Thank you and congratulations. We have Andre Agassi also coming tomorrow to launch the Indian League. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, and look forward to making pickleball the biggest sport in India. And thank you to everyone for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, all of you. And that was a great insight on how India can move beyond cricket, Hina, and we can have newer sports join in the bandwagon.
Well, absolutely.